It's another day that you're provoking the people. I don't know why you're doing this. This is what creates wars. You're using our body as a conductor of electricity to try to use us like a telephone. So I hear you talking inside my stomach. I hear you talking like, doing the popping sounds, electrocuting the people. And I'm not the only one going through it. I know there's several out there, a lot out there. You're trying to intimidate them, make them believe like that's always what it was. But that's never going to happen. You need to leave because you are not the source of life. God is. You're just sitting on your asses doing nothing, wasting everybody's great progress. So you just fix your minds out there. I bet it's like a handful of police, a handful of government officials confusing the public, just saying name dropping, making people, influencing hate on one another. And then we're all enjoying our day, ignoring all that shit. And then out of nowhere, our families die, we get shot at. You're the problem, whoever you are. So you're over here sitting on your ass, fixing your mind and judging people over he say, she say, because you lack intelligence and education, that we all bear the same fruits, that we all know the importance of keeping each other healthy, keeping our privacies and respect. And you're ruining our great relationships. You're making yourself sound like our foreign partners just to confuse people. We don't need that. You're confusing our troops for no reason. And then they get shot at in conflict over a gunshot sound. And then if you do imitate a gunshot sound, you can literally already do that electricity wave thing to where you can imitate an actual gunshot when you're doing that popping sound, and you like tore my roof down for no reason. You guys are being dumb at this point. We already solved all of your problems, the Romans from the Bible. Knowing the Romans is knowing the law. All the structure was funded and established by us, everyone's family, everywhere internationally, together. It's a together thing. Because that's how you suppress disease. You can lie about, doing all of this stuff, but you are very guilty, whoever you are. So you're just literally created a habit of doing nothing but sitting on your asses with your microphones in front of a computer instead of never seeing it again. Really? Where's the leadership in you? No, you're going to build, and you're going to build for the detainees, and you're going to build side by side, educating one another on what not to do, what's short-lived. And offer opportunity, great job opportunity. Because that's more impactful than just giving time. And then they don't even care. Nowadays, you're siding with the most guilty. And then they just blamed an innocent person and they just manipulated their surroundings. Everybody comes out for just a house, a car, food, a partner. Well, that partner, whatever you want to attract, if you want to keep on having it, you have to have great relations everywhere in the world. That guarantees our privacy. The borders ain't stopping nothing. We have great businesses. People that really understand on carrying on for our consumption. It's a together thing. We always work together. And then some guilty persons over here teaching our new employees the wrong way, pitching a pretty narrative. God's not going to let that happen. I'm Mr. Roman from the Bible. I predicted the pandemic when God told me in 2016, and it actually happened in 2020. With investigative proof, you go back, and then it's way more accurate than the initial pandemic. When people got careless, people went rushing for desk money, rushing for this and that opportunity when they lacked importance on caring for the consumption and how to even maintain a great life, which is spreading the good word, staying constant in education, always letting it be known this is how we live and this is how we stay living. How many times are we going to save your ass when you get careless out there and you devalue your partners? That's every turn. God, every turn. You don't know what they're going through. Maybe they're over here jealous of them. They're trying to sabotage for somebody's uneducated ways because they want to feel all high and mighty. There's no such thing. You respect one another. And that's why you go back home respected. Your consumptions are respected. None of you can handle a war. Nobody will handle a war. There's way more intelligent people, especially the ones that don't entertain shit, that see things clearly. Nobody should be entertaining that shit. And you don't ever harass somebody keeping you alive. You should appreciate people that point out shit. We don't need yes men because you say you're this and that, because you think you're this and that. You guys are all new here. It was great equity established in unity and great relationships with all of our families together internationally. Not for some newcomer to think they're running the show nowadays. All of life calls you bullshit. Then you guys confuse each other, take each other out. We've heard stories of troops entertaining shit, probably being provoked by that dumbass radioactivity shit. And then they get all confused and they're imitating conflict, and there's none conflict because we're all best of friends everywhere. So they get all confused. It ravels onto something else. And then there's, sergeants shooting off their own platoon because they're all paranoid. They don't know, like, what happened or where it's coming from. So you're just killing your own. But yet, before you reach the ground, you were all confident. And you guys are fucking rooting for that shit. All they have to say is give an order and sound confident with no literally like brain cells to say that. Over he say, she say, and you don't even know. Not knowing that the situation was being manipulated before. How about never seeing any of that shit ever again? I don't care what you hear. You're gonna build, making sure billboards are posted with kind gestures, helping hands, unity. Great movies to watch. They're very, very powerful. The good word of God is very, very powerful. Action movies, horror movies, comedy movies, drama. It's all education on why people shouldn't do that kind of stuff. On things, personalities we came across, and what happens, how to better handle it, what to not do, what's fucking obviously pointless to do. That's what guarantees you having a great life if you haven't forgotten. Don't you ever forget when you wanted to be hard-headed with your great partners that leave you alone, that don't even think of doing you wrong, and literally walk with God and see you as God to them. But so maybe somebody was jealous of you, so we give it to God and we forgive. I don't know. But we know you ain't going to be mistreated by us. Meaning everybody in the world, all of our families together, getting along, spreading the good word together. It's very fucking childish what you're doing. Don't you ever forget that we did not want you to be gasping for your last breath when you didn't have to. We're looking for great results here. Not manipulated symptoms, and then doctors are getting confused. All the healthcare professionals are pissed. You're confusing everybody, dude. With your fucking, like, all you do is literally, like, just talking low frequencies for no reason. Popping people's heads. You have too much time in your hands to now your days are rotting. You lack discipline, you lack direction. And we're not going to put anybody's life at risk when there's no need. Ever again. Nobody should be entertaining war. There will never be no war ever again. No conflict ever again. I have great partners everywhere in the world established. And they tell me, hey, you're right, Mr. Roman. I listened to what God told us all together. We increased those wages healthy. Everybody, $10, $20 every pay period. Guaranteed wage increase every 3 months. And it doesn't stop. And then, of course, they invest in real estate. It's all healthcare, dude. They say, I'm never going to be broke again. Everybody that listens to God doesn't have a worry in their life. Never. All government officials that listen to God, they see great, excellent progress. They get with motion pictures and people that make movies in Hollywood, everywhere around the world. That's not even half of it, dude. There's a whole world on it. Before any of you were born, we've been established together. They kept stealing and stealing. We said, hey, leave it in the foundation. Because there's people to teach. There's new life to keep healthy. They need to remain constant in education. Education eliminates all conflict, so everybody can know and reach common ground. You know what? It is short-lived. Everybody that comes out of the house, they do all of this stuff for a roof over their head, for a vehicle to commute healthy, to keep getting used to each other, to be clothed, food, to have a partner. We all bear the same fruits. All right? You really want the streets clean? Then take that initiative in great leadership. Or you are gonna like affect everybody along with your own family. Everything legal. All substances get paid government checks to anybody making that substance. You're not going to be setting them up. You're not going to be, then they're going to start to hide again and run away. Anything, any substance or drugs made, you send them to the pharmaceutical company, they get a check. Tell them, hey, how much are you getting paid? And don't lie, man. All right, here we go. Give us your drugs. I mean, we're all working to be on your checks, on everybody's check. So you get lab tested see exactly what it is, and then it's distributed. Organization, organized. Healing plants, teas, foods and vegetables, brews, age restrictions if needed. On the side of, before purchase of any of these things, you're gonna have an educational video, a horror educational video of what it is to abuse this or that. Like, you're gonna make it very, very, very firm as God does. God kills, dude. A lot of times you go into it thinking you're this and that, thinking you're the best of the best. And it's all in your fucking head. There's way more people smarter. There's people actually that establish great relations. That's why they have accumulated more knowledge. And you forgot how to live. Because you're over here just sitting on your ass. Just talking shit. Dude, we're seeing a lot of you fucking rot and deteriorate, or I don't know what's happening, but dude, at one point I was thinking like they were literally like slowly killing us with our consumption and all of that. You lack the importance, and then you're over here like making people believe, very respected people believe that they have enemies or whatever. You're confusing the public and our troops and law officials for no reason, and they're believing that. Anybody in your head doesn't deserve to be even in your mindset or whatever. You know? Nobody's playing with your life. You're taking your present blessing for granted. Why do you think when you make top dollar, that's what you fell for like everybody else? What's in front of you has to be fed, healthy. That's not even the half of it. So you can remain in good surroundings, in luxurious surroundings. Everybody has to be in the same blessings. You still have to come out to the world, cross paths. Everybody gets very, very successful by being a helping hand to those that don't have that same opportunity. They're going to come up with you. They're going to be equally just as blessed. And a lot of times we don't need that food for thought to impress friends that don't even give a fuck about themselves. Not anymore. But are you going to still have talks of who has the bigger house, who has this and that, and nobody even cares? Because it means nothing and it won't be successful if everybody's not on the same page. It ends immediately. It ends today. You do not need to be in people's fucking bodies, freaking them out or thinking like you own them or some shit. You don't even live. Because you adapted to shit. Now you're trying to confuse a situation because everybody in the world is making it known that it's shit. Like God tells everybody, go ahead and turn yourself in. All right, we can give you a luxurious suite in prison. Because we're not the problem. The people see something bad happening altogether, we say, hey, stop. So I see abuse of power that's non-existent. Now you don't even know that they're over here in secret killing us, because if they know, they're dead meat. You don't even know what our kids are going through, and then it's a bigger world, and then now you're left keeping them from living a great life because you were the one that was toxic. Because you kept God from living a great life. When you don't have to see none of that shit, you keep that good word constant. And we walk with confidence. And nothing's going to happen to the people. Nobody. Because we call shit out. Because we fucking saved your fucking life. And you were just in denial. Because you made a mistake. And all they had to say was keeping you safe or whatever. Fuck no, dude. Not if we feel all fucking trapped. Not if you keep God from us. I'm not gonna let anything happen to anybody. God wouldn't allow it, because you wouldn't want it to be happening to you. It gets very, very toxic. To people will literally become very, very careless. You don't even know where it'll be from. That's why I'm remaining very, very constant. We literally, all we had to do was get right to work like we were. Nobody needed no food for thought. Nobody needed no attention. We're making excellent progress. Everybody's welcoming. Nobody needed that. Now we know what's happening. Now end it immediately. And we still save your fucking life. After you treated us like shit. Families died for no reason. A lot of my family would have still been living. You're taking the obvious advantage of people, great builders, great healthcare providers, and you're setting them up because we're letting it be known that you're wrong. You get all paranoid, you try to silence it, you base it off a fucking movie, dude. All of your problems are solved everywhere in the whole world. God every turn. Not that head shit, not that using our bodies as a conductor for electricity, using us like a phone.